What's happening, everybody? Here we go. Too much fantasy football. It's Brian and Brennen, and here we are, ready for Week 10. Trade deadlines passed. Got a couple of happy Colts fans here. I mean, not necessarily a lot of splash there for fantasy football purposes, but real football. We got quite a few trades. How you doing today, man?
Feeling saucy.
Feeling saucy, yes! Yes, as we should. Colts trading 2 first-round picks and 80 Mitchell to go get Sauce Gardner to really, solidify. Now we're getting talks about having top 5, top 3 best secondary in the NFL. We're not going to jump quite on that train here, but just happy Colts fans.
Happy Colts fans. It was a lot to give up. I still feel like the Jets, it's a win-win trade, I guess, for both teams. Like the Jets are like they got 2 first-rounders and they get they added it, like that first is going to be in 2027, which this year's draft class is kind of looking a little grimacing, but the 2027 class is where they should be stockpiling for.
At the same time, this offseason, we were saying, hey, 2026, it's looking good. So you never know, folks. These
Yeah.
things are volatile. These are young kids out there. They screw up all the time. So who knows what we could actually be looking like. But yeah, Jeremiah Smith is probably off the table for us at this point.
Yep, probably.
That's okay. That's okay. We shipped off 80 Mitchell. We still have Michael Pittman. Alec Pierce is blossoming pretty well here in year 4. And Josh Downs. I still think Josh Downs is my absolutely favorite receiver on our team. Just gets out there. He's great for the team. Maybe not necessarily for your fantasy team, but it's a nice little core we have.
Yeah, no, I agree completely.
So I guess ramifications of that trade in particular, of course, the Jets are looking at multiple picks here, but they're adding 80 Mitchell. And the conversation we've had all, about the pass catchers there in New York, it's been Garrett Wilson, and like every now and then we talk maybe Mason Taylor could come into it. Do you see a world where 80 Mitchell gives you fantasy viable like weeks at all? Is this going to be like a plug and play flex for like bye weeks? How are you approaching it?
I think you got to wait and see. He's got to learn a new playbook. He's got to go over there and learn a new playbook. I think he'll be good. I think he needed a change of scenery. I think with the Rams game and then him being benched and then him, being a no-show dress for one game as well. I think maybe in a year we'll talk about him because I think he is a good receiver. He has shown flashes that he can be good, and I think he'll be a good piece next to Garrett Wilson. It's just I don't think it's this year, especially with Justin Fields at quarterback as well.
That's the big thing. Justin Fields is not good. He's just good enough to make sure that Garrett Wilson gets fed there. So, yeah, I agree. We might have a few splashy plays. We might be going into the next week talking about him on the waiver wire, but I just don't want to trust anything on the Jets outside of Garrett Wilson and Brees Hall, who got a new home, right? He was traded? No.
Nope.
Nope.
The Chiefs offered a 4th round pick, and the Jets said no.
Out of spite. Out of spite is what it felt like. I mean, end of the day, the Chiefs probably would have made out in that. They would have gotten the 1 year rental on Brees and probably gotten a 3rd round pick back for him in the comp picks. But uh, I don't know. Just let him go, man. They have both their running backs of the future. They have Isaiah Davis. They have Braylon Allen. They took them both last year. Why would you not just, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me for a lot of the teams that just to not offload. I get it. You don't, sometimes you don't want to trade just to trade, but like the Titans, not trading away Tony Pollard didn't make sense to me. It's like the GM doesn't really owe anything to Tony Pollard. He has like another year left in his deal. You could have cleared cap, gone and go get the guys you really want. Same with like Chuba Hubbard. Like Rico Tattle's the guy. Like now you're just, maybe it's nice to have a nice backup. They are 5-4. So if he does go down, they still feel like they have a competent backup now, but like a $9 million backup still. Like I think teams could have, teams that needed a running back could have used him too. I mean, this also is good news for Omari and Hampton. I feel like because like he was, being talked of like, oh, they need to fill in a piece, and Kamani Vidal owners can rejoice for a little bit until Hampton's back. So there is some wins and losses here, but I think it's just mainly losses. You were hoping for your running back to kind of get upgraded into another place.
Yeah, I completely agree there. I guess really the only noteworthy trades we do have for fantasy, the Jags went out and acquired Jacoby Myers from the Raiders, giving up a 4th and 6th round pick. I think this a lot is alluding to just the injuries in general. Brian Thomas Jr. dealing with that low grade ankle, and then you've got Travis Hunter hitting the IR this past week, so he will have at least 3 more weeks before he can come back. Report is, I guess it's not season ending. He should be back. It's hard there. Like, I mean, Parker Washington was the new hotness going into waiver wires last night until this trade went down. Diami Brown's probably going to miss this week as well with a concussion. So, is Jacoby Myers somebody you're going to take the shot on? Is it still Parker Washington? And if you have Jacoby Myers, are you just trying to sell him on hype before we inevitably find out what happens there?
I don't even know. Does Jacoby Myers even have hype going to Jacksonville? Like, that's my real question.
I wouldn't say that necessarily he has hype, but everybody gets excited when trades go down. There's always, leagues and teams. What if? What if? What if? I traded for Amari Cooper last year after he was traded. I traded for Deontay Johnson after he was traded. Granted, it was a dynasty. It was a strategic move as far as clearing out bench space, but it's I don't know. We have to hope that something comes out of it. Liam Cohen is proven he can make stuff happen, but is T-Law just holding back this team?
Let me ask you this: who gets more points rest of your fantasy wise? Rashid Shaheed going to Seattle, or Jacoby Myers in Jacksonville?
Rashid Shaheed, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah,
He's got the good quarterback.
that's where I'm at with it. I actually think Rashid Shaheed is going to be more viable than Jacoby Myers, and it's just not because I don't think Jacoby Myers is bad. It's just I think Brian Thomas is there, Parker Washington's in the slot. That Diamond Brown kind of gets moved back a little bit. It's just he's going to learn a new playbook because I look back and I'm like he has no correlation to Liam Cohen at all. Like there's nothing where, obviously playbooks can be complex in some instances. So I think he'll know some things, but I don't like the snap count. I don't know, maybe 50%, 60% is what I expect on the Sunday, and then gradually increases over time. So I don't want to start Jacoby. I'll still start Parker though.
Yeah, Parker Washington, really excited for. This was a guy we've kind of talked on a lot more on the betting show, just because his prop's been just horrifically low. He's crushed it so much. Speaking of which, I mean, as we go to Rashid Shaheed, he was acquired by Seattle from the Saints for a fourth and fifth round pick. Rashid Shaheed, the only player in the NFL this year that has hit his over in receiving yards every single week. I imagine that continues because his ADOT this year is right around 11. Previously, last year with Clint Kubiak, his now OC, his last year OTC with the Saints, it was around 17, 18 yards. So Sam Darnold, also the best deep ball we have right now. He is throwing the ball deeper than anybody else in the NFL. So I think there is going to be quite a bit to have here. Whether or not it all falls on Shaheed or it gets spread out across him, JSN, and Sam Darnold.
See, this trade makes sense. Shaheed has familiarity with Clint Kubiak, and he's going to go right in, and he knows that system, so he can play every single snap because he knows that playbook through and through. So it's automatically a win for Shaheed, and it is a win for Darnold. Darnold has another weapon, and Darnold looked really good against the Commanders last night. I was really low on Seattle. I was just like, I don't know, man. I just think this team's kind of lacking, a little bit lackluster. I think Sam Darnold's kind of the middle of the pack quarterback, but nope, he has been. I mean. Can we kind of talk about Sam Darnold in the MVP race? Like he kind of deserves his flowers a little bit.
God. Look, if we want to go put him on with smack some odds on him, for sure. Sportsbooks, go do that. But it doesn't feel real.
Sounds gross.
It sounds gross. And I don't know if it's just the worry of last year we did see him pumpkin at the end of the season, if it's just Sam Darnold and we've spent his entire career talking about how bad he is, or it's just not the sexy play. And maybe I just need to fade away from that a bit.
I just think I think everyone needs to get out of their mind the whole blowing it up at the end of the year for the Vikings. He's on a different team. Head coach of the year might be going to Seattle too as well.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be in that race. I definitely. And last year, he wasn't bad last year. He was a 10-win team. They just missed the playoffs.
Exactly.
Fired his OC because of it. Ballsy choice to do that, but you didn't get the results you wanted, and you went out there and made a difference. You didn't say, we were close, let's run it back. No, that's the Zach Taylor mindset. That's the, we've only given up 1,000 yards over the last 2 games. My DC will get it together. They'll give it. Ownership's dumb. They kept Marvin Lewis for 2 decades. They'll keep me for another decade, for sure. Moronic.
His contract's up, so now he can not be retained, so they don't owe him money.
$100 they re-sign him. $100 they re-sign him.
I'll take that bet.
Yeah, maybe not, but
it's just right now.
It's the Bengals, man. Why would they not re-sign him? Why would they not do the thing that we all don't want them to do? But also they're cheap, so of course they're going to write out his entire deal as well. Other deals, it does look like I didn't see this. The Chargers traded for Trevor Penning from the Saints, got another O lineman. Is he a good one? Not really, but is he better than what they're working with right now? Definitely, definitely. They
Yeah,
are devastated
he
over
was a
there.
first round pick. He hasn't lived at the first round potential, but man, it's so much better than just a third string practice squad guy who just came off the couch. So like it's better than nothing. I'm really
Yeah,
glad they're trying to do something because I think Joe Alt's done for the year, if I'm not mistaken,
yeah,
because it's surgery, correct?
yeah. They came out I think yesterday actually talking about how it's season-ending injury. So their two best offensive linemen, their tackles, gone. Better luck next year, buddies. But yeah, no, I
Yeah,
do
it's
think this is a
tough.
lot better because I'm really sour on this offense in general right now. There's a couple key pieces. They're immensely talented. Herbert is top five in the league as far as quarterbacks go. So I trust in some of it, but like Kamani Vidal is literally been every other week for him.
Kamani Vidal is going to be a start until we hear some Hampton newses, and until then, it's just a really rough situation all around for the Chargers because this team had aspirations of Super Bowl. Now it's like I think they'll get to the playoffs, but man, and once they face a really good front seven, I think it'll be really tough sledding for them to try to be competitive in that game because you're asking third stringers to go against potential Pro Bowl and all pro players to keep Justin Herbert upright.
Which it usually doesn't work out too well. Usually not too well. What else do we have here as far as news? Kyler Murray. Look, there's the joke of, oh, yeah, it's a foot injury. It's a soft benching 4 to 8 weeks, whatever it is, 6 to 8 weeks. Nope, coach came out and said he's making the choice. So good on him. He's kind of in the hot seat right now. So going out there being bold, not playing scared, I can appreciate it. But that's a call. They've got a lot of money tied up in Kyler. Like, this would be Russell Wilson levels of dead cap if they move on from him.
The vibes are high with Jacoby on the team. You can see it. The defense played really great against the Cowboys. Marvin Harrison looks like the first wide receiver off the board, like he should have been. Trey McBride had a great game. The run game's
Continues
moving.
to score
It's
touchdowns.
And then when I see the stat of Kyler Murray's never had back-to-back 300-yard passing games with 2 touchdowns. Last time it was Jacoby who's done it now, and then Carson Palmer in 2015. It's like I get it. Kyler Murray has never. It's like Kyler Murray has his legs as a part of his weaponry. I'm saying right now, Kyler's going to get moved in this offseason. He's going to go somewhere. He's going to flourish. I just think it's a bad relationship right now, and it just needs to be. They need to separate and they need to go their own ways. I don't know how it's going to work with the cap space though. That's going to be interesting because it's a lot. It's probably a huge dead cap.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head, but there was a few people posting that around yesterday, and it's not going to be great. But at the same time, we've seen teams move. Denver moved through it magically. The way that they dumped all that cap and repaired it, and they drafted well, drafted high, got a bunch of young players that they're not having to pay right now. Marvin Harrison, they still don't have to pay him for a few more years, so they could make the move. And I do agree. I think Kyler Murray is still a top 20 quarterback in the league. Like, I would still much rather have him than a lot of the other guys that are starting right now. I haven't been in love with the offense since the defensive minded coach came in to take over this team. So, yeah, a change of scenery could do him well.
Yeah,
New
like the
Orleans?
Saints. Like I think the Saints
Oh,
actually.
look at that, man!
Yeah, I think the Saints actually could do well with him there. It's like a Mickey. If Mickey Loomis still has a job, it just seems like a Mickey Loomis move. But I do like
And
the head coach in Saints, though.
And if the Cardinals are eating a majority of his contract, that would help a lot of their cap situation that they
Exactly.
have. Because, they just paid out a full guaranteed contract to shut. I mean, everybody did for second rounders, but again, it's just more money the Saints have tied up.
Yeah, exactly.
Dumbasses. Bucky Irving, right before we hit record on this, we got news that he's still hurt, not practicing on Wednesday. It's not great coming out of a bye week. Like, he hasn't been announced out, but I'm planning on him being out this week because of it.
Yeah, if we don't see like a limited Thursday and full Friday, I'm fully expecting Rashad White to be the starter. And then maybe we play this game next week of Bucky practice on Wednesday, please.
Fingers crossed. Oh boy, this one hurts. This one cut people deep. And right after we spent all last Wednesday, propping them up, talking about them, Tucker Kraft, man, goes down with an ACL injury, out for at least the whole season. He's out for the season. This one hurt.
Yeah, that hurt because like it was the news after was it doesn't look good, but it's not ACL tear, and then hours later it's ACL tear, and then they confirmed it Monday. I was just like, because like Tiger Craft was someone I was talking about as like a really like that back end tight end, and just like, I think he could be the number one option, and he was. Now it kind of changes up the Packers offense, like because before we were talking, Michael Mayer was in targets. David Njoku was talked about going to the Packers. Packers decided to stay put and just roll with this team, which I think when you make a trade for Micah, like I think that team should kind of keep pushing all in. Like that division's tough. The NFC I feel like is still kind of wide open. Like there's no real definitive answer out of me for the NFC. You can
Same.
pick and choose a couple teams. So kind of surprised they stayed put, but we can talk about the fantasy options. I do think they can start running the ball with Josh Jacobs more. I think that's my solution to this is that he should be getting at least 20 touches a game.
That's where they've got to hope he's worked his way through that calf injury because he has been hampered a bit by that over the last few weeks. After Tucker Kraft went down, the target share was 21% to Romeo Dobbs, 15.8 to Luke Musgrave, 15.8 to Christian Watson. Savion Williams came in at 10.5, and Josh Jacobs at 10.5. So still the same recipe. Still the same recipe. There is nobody there. Luke Musgrave actually came out in the same draft class as Tucker Kraft. He was drafted, I believe, 2 rounds higher. Maybe it was just one.
Second, it was a second for Luke and fourth for Tucker.
Okay, there you go. So 2 rounds ahead, similar to what we saw in Baltimore back in the day with the Mark Andrews. He went in the third. They took the guy in the first as well. Mark Andrews really blossomed, but Tucker Kraft and Musgrave for the first couple of years, a lot of injuries, a lot of. I thought Luke Musgrave was going to be the guy for a while. He was a stud. And he got hurt, and Kraft came in and truly proved how much better he is. But I think Luke Musgrave is a great 75% Tucker Kraft.
Let me ask you this: Luke Musgrave or Colson Loveland?
Luke Musgrave.
Really?
Yeah, Luke Colson Loveland, like he was at a stream for me this past week, and it looked good, but he's also playing the Bengals. Everybody looks good against the Bengals. You take away that last fluke play, like he had a great game up until that point, but
he had a great game. Yeah,
the cherry on top was again that busted play for the second touchdown of his game. I think it's this. He's in the same situation though. He's one of two tight ends that could catch the ball. There are four wide receivers that are annoyingly taking off the heads of each other. There's a couple of running backs that they like to run the ball in Chicago. So I think it's just. I mean, we also just made the argument for Green Bay. It's spread around, but it's more consistent, I guess. Colson Loveland may have spikes of over 20%, and then he may be down there at 10%. So I think Colson Loveland, or I'm sorry, Musgrave feels safer for me. Are you on the Loveland side?
I think if I'm like these are waiver wire pickups, so I'm shooting for the stars here. So I'd rather go Loveland just because I've seen it and I haven't seen Musgrave do what Loveland has done in a game. I would say, what about this, Harold Fannin or Luke Musgrave?
Think Harold Fannin.
Okay.
I think it's going to be Harold Fannin for me. Hell, I mean, there were rumors that Njoku could have been traded to the Packers as well as Michael Mayer, but God, if that would have happened, oh my goodness, Fannin, just absolutely wheels up. Nobody would be standing in his way. Right now, he's number 2 in target share on that team. He's only 2 targets behind the number 1 guy in Jerry Jeudy. So yeah, I do really like Fannin rest of season. But overall, folks, streaming tight ends has been dope this season. 129 touchdowns have been scored up until this point. Most since any season since 2014. Last year at this point, they only had 80 touchdowns. Yeah, huge bump. 49 touchdowns have been scored over that. There are, 667 yards more have been scored by tight ends over last year. And then the target share, 22.8% target share going to tight ends this year. It's the highest number since in the 2000s. So I love having Warren. I love having some of these stud guys. But honestly, you can stream your way to a tight end 7, tight end 8 rest of season. So I think it can be done without the stud if you lose Tucker Kraft. So don't sell the farm to go find yourself a starting tight end, I guess is what I'm saying.
No, I agree with that.
Nice. Last thing we have here, Jaden Daniels. Look, we saw what was that photo last offseason with that weird little thing on his elbow? I'm hoping maybe that's all this was, because I watched the video and I was like, oh man, he's probably going to lose his arm. Like, that's bad. But rumor is he could be back this season. It's going to be a while. But
it's his non-throwing arm, so that's also important. It's 4 to 6 weeks for a dislocated elbow because there was no ligament, like there was no serious ligament tears, from my understanding. I think I told you before the show recorded. if the Commanders are somehow in that push of like they're on the fritz of making the playoffs, I think he comes back. But let's just say they in 4 games they're 1-3. Now they're what, 4-9 or 8? What, I don't think that'd be their record if I'm not
They're 3 and
mistaken.
6 right now, so yeah, they'd be 4 and 9.
4-9. Yeah,
That
I
ain't getting it
just
done in the NFC this year.
you're now have a losing record. What is genuinely the point of bringing him back? You're risking re-injuring it, and that I'm I'd have a hard time seeing Jaden come back. You stash him on the IR, that's about it, and just hope.
I was pretty annoyed he was out there in the fourth quarter getting beat that bad anyway, coming off of an injury. But hindsight 2020, something about all that. So Jaden Daniels looks like it's kind of been a lost season for him. We've had some good showings from him, but like the injuries have just stacked up, and it was a bad pick at this point.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's like it's a bad pick because of injury, not because of a
For
bust.
sure.
Like there's been guys, I think we'll at the end of the year we'll have our categories of bust because of injuries and bust because of just being bad.
Yeah, this was a process over results was still there, but this was definitely a lost pick, and it happens.
That
100%.
happens.
Malik Neighbors was not a bad pick, but it was a bad pick because you don't have him on your team right
He
now.
tore his ACL. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Could you imagine what that guy would be doing with Jackson Dart at the helm right now?
Oh my gosh. I'm excited for Malik Neighbors next year.
Yeah, totally. I can't wait to see what they put around that team. Bolster the offensive line, I hope. Because the
Yeah.
defense, it's not too shabby. They're just a couple
Nope.
pieces away, I feel like, on defense.
And they didn't give up a first round pick to get Jackson Dart to get back in the first round. Smart move by the Giants. Falcons should have taken some notes.
Jags might have to. Jags might have taken some notes on that one as well. I believe right now, if the season ended today, Jags would be picking at the number 12 overall. I'm sorry, the Rams would be picking at 12 overall because that's who they gave their pick up to. No,
I think that's
no, the
that's the
Falcons.
Falcons.
Swap that.
That's
Swap that.
yeah,
There we go. Falcons would be
yeah,
picking at 12. I mean the Rams. So,
yeah.
yeah, there's definitely some rooting interest across division lines. You ready to talk about this Thursday night game?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, folks. It's gonna be an exciting one. Maybe 2-6 Raiders going to Denver playing the 7-2 Broncos. Are they the most phony 7-2 team you've seen in a while? Because I could not believe when I read that the Broncos are 7-2.
You can say the same with the Colts if you really wanted to as well.
But that's
It's
not what we're
just
talking about.
true. Like when you look at the top of the AFC division, it's the Colts, the Patriots, and Broncos. Like that's not what anybody predicted at all beginning of the year. Like no one's. It was going to be the Ravens, Chiefs, and Bills. Like
Didn't I have the Colts as my division winners in our predictions?
you
I want to
might
say I
have.
did.
I
I
don't.
want to say I
Yeah.
did just because I was like, hey, this division's a shot in the dark. But I think my reason backing that was Anthony Richardson grew. So, maybe it's a lost cause here. But yeah, 7-2 Broncos.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel 7-2. They feel, 6-3, 5-4 ish to me. But yeah,
Mhm.
they are favored by 9 points in this game. 42.5 point over under. So it's set up for a Thursday night game. Which pieces you excited for in this one?
Brock Bowers. Like, like I'm being genuinely honest. Like Brock Bowers is like the most I'm excited for in this game because it's like, let's talk about the Broncos side, right? Like Bo Nix, he has been a top 10 quarterback. It's been, like last week it was looking really doom and gloom until the very end of the fourth quarter where he ran a bunch and then threw for the RJ Harvey touchdown. But he gets it like it's what it's been for him for the past couple of weeks. I don't know if I want to start him for this night. I have him in a couple leagues. I'm just like, I kind of want to pivot away because it's a divisional game and anything can happen on Thursday night. We've seen it happen already this year where the Bengals beat the Steelers, the Giants beat the Eagles. Like it's just that's how the NFL is. And I know I'm not saying the Raiders will beat the Broncos, but I definitely think this game could be an ugly game just because it's divisional and that's just how it always works.
So would you call me crazy if I told you we got him in my top 7 right now?
Ooh, Bo Nix.
Yeah.
I don't think it's crazy. He's played like a top 7 quarterback just because it's how it's worked out for him. It's just I'm scared it's Thursday night and it just sucks because if you see him lay a stinker, not even just like him being bad, but like J.K. Dobbins goes off for 100 yards and a touchdown, and R.J. Harvey gets a 60-yard run for a touchdown, and it's like they don't really need Bo Nix to throw the ball.
Yeah, or if they can't get pressure on him too, this is one of the best offensive lines in football. If they can't get pressure on him, it's not going to force him out of the pocket to run, and that's kind of why he gets ranked, I think, as high as he does each and every week because he does give you that a safer floor than an Aaron Rodgers would. You need an ideal game for Aaron Rodgers to go off. You need an ideal game for Jared Goff to go off. Bo Nix, he can bullshit his way all the way through there. So I have him way higher than I want, but that's just kind of how it sits right now. What about his number one wide receiver, Troy Franklin?
I'm hurting there. That's where it sucks, man. It's like Cortland Sutton last week, that he one reception, 35 yards and a touchdown. That
Oh
was
no,
it.
I was talking about his number one wide receiver, Troy Franklin.
Oh, shut up.
Are you talking about there's target shares of 20%, 27.6, 27.6% over the last 3 weeks? He has also out targeted Sutton in 32 to 25 over the last 4 games.
Are you telling everyone to go trade Sutton for Franklin right now?
No, absolutely not. I'm just saying,
clear.
like, this is what we're dealing with here. I feel like we talked about Sutton being a decent low floor or high floor kind of a guy, a wide receiver too. It hadn't been that this year. And this is in part to, I don't think Bo Nix has been playing as well as he did last year. But, like, in this game, I'm willing to play Sutton. I'm not willing to play Franklin. Like, gross. 27 yards, 89 yards, 19 yards, 19 yards, 35 yards. It just happened and he got 3 touchdowns in 2 of the last 3 games.
Yeah, it's. I think I'll make this very clear for my side. For the Broncos, Bo Nix is fine for a start. I think maybe it's just like an inkling I have where it could just be a bad game in the sense of this run game goes off and that's where it is, or the Raiders somehow wake up. But Bo Nix is fine. J.K. Dobbins is fine. R.J. Harvey as a flex, I don't hate it. He's starting to improve a little bit. Cortland Sutton, and that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with the Broncos team.
R.J. Harvey or either of the Seattle running backs?
Ken Walker. I'd say Ken Walker before R.J. Harvey.
Can we take a half a second to talk about how Charbonnet didn't steal the fucking touchdown? AJ freaking Barner was the one that vultured the touchdown at the what? Oh, I was irate. I even had AJ Barner in my streaming article, so I couldn't be too mad. But what is this? Clint Kubiak, trade him the. Oh God, you can't now, but whew, I'm good. I'm good. RJ Harvey over Bill.
Yes, Bill's been bad. Bill, he's been everyone was the preseason hype darling has been a dud.
Kamara.
Dude, Kamara's been so. I was thinking maybe with Shuck it'd be better. It's not. Man, he really hurt the Saints so bad for saying the pina colada comment. Trade him in a heartbeat. Yeah, no, it's Harvey for me. I'm going to ask you this: can you cut Kamara?
In 10-team leagues, I'm 100% behind.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Because you can't do it in 12; he'll be picked up in a heartbeat.
Most likely, you don't have the running back to do it in a 12-team league, but certain situations, I'd be okay with it.
Who's more valuable right now, Isaiah Davis or Alvin Kamara?
I think Kamara this season, RB 65, 35, 40, 16, 29, 31, 37, 21, 18. He hasn't broken 13 points this season. Or he's hit 13 on the dot once. That's it.
Yeah, it's scary.
Isaiah Davis seems a little much just because it's the Jets.
Yeah,
but the right matchups, I could see myself ranking him above it. Right now, I have Kamara at RB 30. And that's just because we got some bye weeks right now.
Fair enough. On the Raiders side, yeah. What was that?
Woody Marks or Kamara?
Woody Marks.
It's so gross.
Yeah,
so
it's gross. To say. Yeah.
That other side, what are we looking at?
Noah and Gino, Ashton Genty, Brock Bowers.
End of list?
Trey Tucker for a hope and a dream if we're being cute. That's where it really is at with me.
If injuries and bye weeks have you stacked against it, I could see Trey Tucker. He is out there every single play. And he was before this trade, and he's going to remain that way. I think Jack Besh is going to be eating into it a little bit. Tyler Lockett, unfortunately, showed up, and they have him out there. So what does that say about Thornton and
What a
Besh?
weird thing for Tyler Lockett to ask to get cut. And then it's I went from a 1-8 team to go to a 2-6 team. just
I went from a
weird.
shitty team in the East to a shitty team in the West. Like, that's all you did.
I guess being in Vegas is better than being in Nashville. I don't. Is it
I
really
don't
better
know. I don't
though?
like that dry heat. Give me Nashville. At least it's pretty.
I don't even know, man. That's just such a weird thing to add. Like I thought he'd go to like the Bills or something to where he tried to
Steelers.
anything to where I think he could go get a ring. Like it's your last kind of push. He does have a ring though, so
Or at least just not continuing to rack up losses. Like, was the market just not there for him, or was this just I want to go back to my old coach? I want to go back to Gino. Some familiar
maybe.
faces. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I guess.
But either way, Jack Best, a name to know, a name to keep an eye out there. Matt Harmon from Reception Perception just kind of checked out his routes over the last few weeks. He's given him the thumbs up. It's looked good. It's just how much opportunity does he get? And Gino looked good last week. Gino looked better with all of the pieces there. He did look as a starting quarterback in the NFL. Does that continue? This is one of the best defenses. They get after the quarterback here in Denver. So again, winning it out. Thursday out.
Yeah.
Nice. Brock Bowers, Evan Ingram. We're done with that.
Yeah. Bust.
Yeah. Dang it. His target share, too. It's just annoying enough to be like, can I consider it? But
no. And he was a my guy for me, and I'm telling you, no. I'm out.
31. I think the career's over there, Evan. It's okay. We got an opening on the podcast next year. So, Evan, give me a call, buddy. We got you. Nice. Who wins it?
The Broncos, but I think the Raiders cover.
9 points. It's actually
That's
gone
a
down
lot of
from
points.
9.5 to 9. So
Yeah.
clearly Jacoby Myers was getting in their way, and that was enough to move it down a half a point.
Yeah. I think my prediction for this game, I will say Sutton leads the team in receptions. I think this is everyone's been so down on him. This is where Sutton leads the team in receptions, and it could be 3, but guess what? That's all I need.
Right. That could be the bad part.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I got reamed a little bit for trying to bring up those Troy Franklin stats on another podcast. He's like, really? Trying to victory app 4 catches for 27 yards? I'm like, but 10 targets. And he's like, no, don't even.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think they cover. They looked a lot better this past week. Raiders are 3-5 against the spread, and then Broncos are 4-5. So all bets are off on this one.
Exactly. Coin flip.
Absolutely. Folks, come back tomorrow and we'll be talking about all of the remaining starts and sit questions. We'll be going game by game, starting in Germany and ending in Green Bay on Monday night. Betting episode, crushed it again this past week, so make sure you catch that there early Saturday morning. Brennen, what else you got for the people?
I've got nothing else, man, but I would say this. There's a lot of trade deadlines for a lot of leagues are usually this week, if I'm not mistaken, for most standards. Like, that's like, if you don't fix it, it's usually this week. If you got guys on IR like Hampton and you're like holding on for playoff, trade them. Go. Yeah. It might be a loss of a trade, but go trade them. You need to start buckling on these moves because like guys like Hampton it's supposed to be back. Like even Bucky, I would trade Bucky right now. Like just go get something that's gonna be viable to start.
Yeah, condensing your lineup, your leagues too, especially if you're three losses or less. Start condensing those players. Like if you have Wan'Dale Robinson on your bench, you have Romeo Doubs on your bench, you have Tez Johnson on your bench, you're probably not playing those guys. They're probably just depth for you. And at this point in the season, I'd much rather have my next week's defense, have 4 or 5 running backs on there that could be fill in as soon as somebody gets hurt. Like these wide receiver 4s and 5s, they are useless in 90% of leagues and situations going forward at this point. So yeah, I'm bailing out of that, trying to condense, do some 2-for-1 trades if you make it happen.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Folks, that is going to wrap it up. We can't thank you all enough for coming back, listening, liking, subscribing, doing all those fun things there. Looking for more of me, it's at @too_much_Brian on Twitter. All my stuff's run up through my feed. And then him, you want to looking for this guy over here, all his great stuff is at @too_much_BMulk. Come back tomorrow, as I said, we've got the start sit episode for the rest of the week. Thanks for listening. See y'all later.